Hi everyone, Monty and I have made it over to Aberlour, which is in Speyside, and we have just parked up at the Linn Park in Aberlour, and we're going to make our way to Linn Falls, which is a waterfall. Never been here before, and we're going to find our way to it and we'll take you there. So this is the park here, and then just over to the right is the bridge here, which we will go across after. We're going to head this way on the way to Linn Falls, but yeah, off in the distance is the River Spey. For people that don't know, this is part of the Speyside Way, which is about was a 66-mile walk between Aberlour and Buckie. They've since extended it by about another 20 miles, so it now starts in Newtonmore and ends in Buckie. Just made it over the bridge. There's a sign there for Linn Falls in the path here, and we'll just follow around the back of the cemetery. So we just came from that direction down here, and we're going to be crossing this bridge over here, which takes us to Linn Falls, and it is going to be another at least 15 minutes to get to Linn Falls. It's a bit rocky, this bridge, I can feel it. It did say at the start of the bridge as well that limited to 5 people on the bridge at any one time, and I can sort of see why. Just Spey off in the distance there. Imagine living there, that'd be amazing, right on the River Spey. Just panning around where we came from. We're just going to head up to a busy road, the sign here, and then Linn Falls is about 3/4 miles that way. So we're going to go this way. Just cross. Okay. So it takes you back into Aberlour. We're going to go this way. There's a bit of a climb here up to Linn Falls, and there is a sign back there saying pedestrians only, so I don't think any bikes or anything like that should be going up and down this hill. And just going back to when we first started, with a bit of a bad start to the morning when we got to Aberlour, I realised that I had left Monty's lead at home. So you may be wondering, what have I done? So this is his harness for the car. You can see the little belt buckle there. And then he has a car hammock in the back seat, and there's 2 straps that sort of keep the hammock together. I've had to attach them together to make it longer, and this is his lead for today. He seems happy enough. Monty! Look, I can hear water. Wow, here we go. Here we go. Here's Linn Falls. Wow. Monty just wants to go in the water. It's so loud. I didn't realize how loud it was. Now, I did bring my flip-flops, but I didn't bring any swimming shorts or anything. I'm just wondering if Monty does want to go in. I'm not sure if I should chance it or not. Look at that. Got the flip-flops on, guys. I don't know if Monty wants to go in or not though. Let's have a look. You want to go in? You're not sure, are you? I think once you were in, you would just love it. think that's a no from Monty today, I'm pretty sure. Never mind. It's fine, I just get a dry dog instead of a wet dog. Just having a bit of confidence in him, knowing that he won't go in the water by himself off the lead. Do notice up there as well, there seems to be some sort of walkway. We might just go up there as well, have a little look and see where it leads to, and then we'll head back towards Aberlour, and then maybe head along back along the Speyside Way, onto the old railway line. So that's where we've just came from. We've just made the way up the hill a little bit of a side-on view to Linn Falls, and just a little look up here. I'm not sure if it's a little lookout point maybe. I'm sure at one point this would have been accessible to walkers a long time ago, but not so anymore. Top of the waterfall. I'm not quite sure where this leads to, but we're going to head on back now. And go back down this way. So we're making it back from Linn Falls Cemetery to our left, and we're just going to continue into Aberlour now and make our way back to the park, where we'll stop off for a drink and something to eat, and I think we'll have a little look at the railway line and onto the Speyside Way, and we might go towards Craigellachie and the Telford Bridge. So there are some nice cafes here, nice fish and chip shop, and some other local shops as well, if you're ever fancying. And down by the old railway line there's a cafe there as well. We'll have a little look and see if it's open. And there's also public toilets down that way as well. So this is over to the left here is where we're going to go, just down on the left. Just stopped off back at the car for a few minutes to get some water and a little rest. I'm just realising as well, I think we took a wrong turn to start with. So we'd started over here and walked along the path by the bridge. But I think what we should have done is taken a left and sort of walked along this way. And that would have probably cut out a lot of the journey for us. So it probably did take a bit longer than usual, or than it should have done. Just walking over the River Spey. It's a beautiful view. Stunning view. And what you can do is you can walk over this bridge and you can walk a fair distance along the right hand side. Now I've done that in the past with Claire a number of years ago. I remember even dipping my toes in up to my knees actually when we did it, and that was long before Monty. We're not going to do it this time. We are just going to be crossing the bridge and crossing back over because we want to go towards Craigellachie. Monty, get that house off in the distance there. Wow. So we just came over the bridge there, and this is Alice Littler Park. I remember growing up, grandparents and my mum and dad used to take me here quite a lot, and my brother and sister. I've always used to remember the spider's web plaything up there, if you can see it in the distance. Always used to come for that, and there's a massive slide there as well. And then sort of beyond that is the old railway station, which we will edge closer to in a few minutes' time. Aberlour has of a population of about 1,000 people, so it's relatively small in size of population, but it does have a lot going for it. In terms of the River Spey in the background, it's got the Speyside Way walk, which stretches along Aberlour. It's also got the railway, the old railway line, and of course two things it's probably most famous for is the Aberlour whisky, but also Walker's shortbread, which is made not far from here. I remember I've travelled America, been to America a few times, and at Disney World, or even I remember going to San Francisco and seeing Walker's shortbread in some of those shops. It's quite mad to think that something that's made so close to home is sold worldwide, but I know they sell it in Australia, sort of all over the world in different continents. But yeah, definitely worth having a taste of the Walker's shortbread if you ever get a chance. So this is just coming over the old railway line here. So Walker's, which I was talking about earlier, was established in 1898 and is now the UK's biggest biscuit exporter, selling in over 40 countries. So I was talking about, I've seen it in America and I know that they sell in Australia as well, over 40 countries. And now we're coming over to the old railway line, as I said, the station here, which is now a tea room. And there's also toilets here, which I think I make use of. I just did make use of the facilities there. We're going to come this way. Seems to be a whiskey bar here called the Mash Tun. Probably do meals and alcohol, I would have thought. And we're just going to come around this way and show off the old train station, which is now a tea room. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's open just now. It's an old sign here. It turns out the tea room is closed today. I was looking on the website or the Facebook page the other day, and it said that it was open 10 till 5, 7 days a week from April to September. Now this is end of August and it is closed on a Wednesday, as you can see here. But that's unfortunate. It is run by volunteers as well. And it was actually only just recently reopened earlier this year because there was a really bad flood and it was damaged, so they had to obviously repair it, and now they've since opened it again. I've just stopped for a little seat here, just looking at the sort of the views. So the railway line, which used to run here, was open between 1863 and 1965. Like a lot of the sort of local railway lines along here, like also this being the Speyside, and also in Murray as well, the Fochabers, Cullen sort of route, they were all sort of closed in the 60s. So yeah, no longer here. But beautiful tea room here and building. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk this way towards Craigellachie now, along the Speyside Way. And from the old railway line there, it's about 15 miles to Fochabers from here in this direction. We're not going to go that far, of course, but we will head towards Craigellachie along to the old Craigellachie Bridge. And the River Spey is going to be on our left the whole way. So we're just going to walk right along, and over to the left is where the sort of the other path is. It only goes so far, but there's benches there as well, and there's some great lookout spots. And then here there's some nice houses right along the Spey. Now back in 2010, which is hard to believe, it's about 14 years ago now, myself and 3 others from school, when we were just about to head into 6th year, our final year of school, we did the Speyside Way walk, and we raised money for a school charity. And we started in Aberlour, and I think it took us maybe 4 or 5 consecutive nights to walk from Aberlour to Buckie up on the Moray coast. I can't remember the exact places we stopped at, but I remember we stopped at like sort of Bostegarten, Ballindalich, Aberlour, Falkirk's, Craigellachie we're going to just now as well. And yeah, we walked the 66 miles I think it was back then. Now it's been extended to I think 80 odd miles from Newtonmore all the way to Buckie, or of course the other way, Buckie to Newtonmore. So this is sort of bringing back a little bit of memories for me. Not too much, because to be honest my memories are pretty bad at things like this, but yeah, trying to sort of reminisce a little bit. Monty's just enjoying the sniffs and the smells of Aberlour to Craigellachie. A massive wall here. This is the Craigellachie tunnel, which is part of the old railway line, I believe. And as I said earlier, this was closed in 1965 and has never reopened. But I can still see here that the tunnel is still very much here. And it looks like on the left hand side there's like a platform, which I'm guessing maybe would be from people boarding the trains. I'm not sure if there would have been one this side at all. I'm not quite sure how it would have worked back then. Here's a little look at it. So yeah, back here is towards Aberlour, and towards this way is Craigellachie. I'm going to have a little walk through the tunnel, and I'm going to pan round to the left hand side to get a view of the Spey. And sort of the Spey has gone in and out of view over the past few minutes because we've sort of gotten further away from the water, but now we're a bit closer now. But as we get closer to Craigellachie, it's going to be a little bit further away, and then when we're at Craigellachie we're going to be right back on the River Spey. Good boy. Gonna have a little walk through. One thing for sure is it's very dark in here. I do have my sunglasses on, which makes it much darker, and I don't know how the video is picking it up. It's quite echoey, but no, it's nice. So that's just leaving the tunnel, and we're going to come round and continue to Craigellachie. So what I was saying about the River Spey, now it's there, now it's gone, just fields now, but it is beyond the fields there to the left hand side. So next stop is Craigellachie. I think from what I remember when we were here the last time, there's a play park with the tennis courts, and then I think it's the bridge after that, and then I think it's just a case of wrapping up the video and we will head home. We'll have to walk back obviously to get the car, but there's not really much to film on the way home because we've sort of filmed most of it on the way here, so I think we're just going to wrap up the video when we get to the bridge and then head on home. Just a very little tunnel here to go under the road. Just coming towards the end of the path here towards the play park. If I just pan over to the right hand side, I'm sure that's the back end of the Craigellachie Hotel, which I think has undergone a recent refurbishment over the past few years. And I think it's relatively expensive to stay there, but I think the whole area of Speyside, because it's popular with tourists, they probably take advantage of that and put the prices up, especially this time of year in summertime. So this is where we end this Speyside Way for now, or at least in this video. So if I was to continue on this way, it's 12 1/4 miles to Falkirk's. We could go back to Aberlour, which we will be doing, or which we're going to now, is we're going to go to Telford Bridge, which is a 1/4 mile this way. And this is the Craigellachie play park that I was talking about. Claire, myself and Monty went here last year, and it was quite busy here. That coffee cart was open. Looks like it's all overgrown this time though. Could even be closed, which is definitely closed today. And yeah, there's just some like a flying fox down here. There's like a little pavilion, tennis courts, and yeah, just a few sort of play equipment bits for kids. And we're just gonna go over by the water and get a view of the Telford Bridge as well. Now I believe this is the main bridge now over the River Spey, but as we get closer we will get to the, well, it was known as the Craigellachie Bridge, or it could be the Telford Bridge, depending on what you want to call it. But yeah, these views are just spectacular. Now for over 150 years this was the main crossing over the Spey, and yeah, look at it. It's got a beach at the bottom, the River Spey in the distance, but the bridge is just amazing. We're going to have a little walk up on it as well, I want to see if Monty does want to go in the water just for a few minutes. But I remember me and Claire sat here on the bench last year with Monty. But yeah, the bridge is amazing. It's got the turrets there. And just look at the sort of the cliff edges. There's a fisherman over here. And then I go over to the right hand side. That is the sort of the new bridge now. Or it's not exactly a new bridge, but it's newer than the Telford Bridge. He's gone in, guys. And of course I've taken off my flip-flops, so I'm just in my old Skechers here. I don't really want to be going in too much deeper than this, I'm afraid, Monty. He's cooling off, I think. It's so calm down here. I have a little walk with me and Monty, as long as he doesn't drag me into the water. Just loving it. Absolutely loving it. Monty! 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 Here! Here! Oh, big shakes. Big shakes. Could sit here for hours, to be honest. Especially on a day like this. Of course, Monty has got sandy paws. Not Santa Claus, sandy paws. So we're going to say goodbye to the Telford Bridge, but not for long. We are just going to go around to the top of it. And we're going to wrap up the video there. So there is a little car park here, which I didn't know about. And we just came from down that path there. We're going to head on to the bridge just now. And I think this just could be a car park for use. I don't think this is the main road now for anything else other than the car park and maybe workmen potentially. So I can see here there's a date on the bridge, 1814, which I believe probably is when it opened. And as I said, it was open for around 150 years as the main route. But yeah, I can see now there's a bollard in place. So yeah, in fact, you can't get over here at all now. It must be another direction. Where that road there must be off the main road for the car park. And here is just the bridge for pedestrians. It must be Latin maybe, I'm not quite sure. Maybe go check my phone to translate it, I think. And there's a sign here. So that's why it's called the Telford Bridge, because it was designed by Thomas Telford in 1814. And it was restored to its original design by the County Councils of Banff, Murray and Nairn in 1964. It's a great lookout spot for Monty. Just a sign here from the International Historic Civil Engineering Landmark. I'll let you read it. Now we're going to walk over the bridge. So we were just down here a few moments ago, where Monty was in the water. That is the main bridge now that's used. And we're just going to pan over to the left hand side. There's a fisherman there off in the distance. And we're just approaching the turrets here. I'm not entirely sure where this leads to afterwards. I'm guessing there's another walk. In fact, there's another sign here. I wonder what this says. So on the 14th of September 1994, the Queen's Own Highlanders, Seaforth and the Camerons and the Gordon Highlanders met on this bridge as a sign of unity prior to the formation of the Highlanders. 3 days later, at Dreghorn Barracks, Edinburgh, the Gordon Highlander Guards formed up on the Banffshire side of the River Spey, with the Queen's Own Highlanders Guards approaching from Murray's side. The commanding officers met at the centre of the bridge. The regimental colour parties then formed on the bridge, and together with the guards they marched to Craigellachie, led by pipe bands. Taking Monty off the lead there, all this sort of made up lead that I was talking about earlier. I'm just wondering, it does. I was thinking it was blocked off, but it's not blocked off. I'm not quite sure where that goes to, but I think we've had enough walking today, so we're going to head back here, and I'm going to have a little look and see what that translates to. So back in the day, it was said to only cost £8,200 to create the bridge, which I don't know what that would equate to in today's money, but it's only £200 over budget, which is pretty amazing. Good boy, Monty. And I believe I think some of this actually might be in Welsh. So the Plas Caenllon, maybe just butchered that, I think it may have been ironworks business in Wales, but I don't know. I was trying to sort of research it just now, but it's not giving much information away, so I don't think it's Latin. It could be Welsh, to be honest. I'm just going to end the video here, guys. We've walked all the way to Linn Falls and back to Aberlour. We've walked to Craigellachie, and we're having to walk all the way back to Aberlour again. But I think we've done enough walking, enough talking, so we're just going to wrap up the video here, and hopefully you'll join us for our next video. Thanks for watching, bye! Just a little bit at the end here, I actually missed this sign on the way to the bridge. I'll just give you a little read of it. So it says that the Craigellachie Bridge is probably the oldest surviving cast iron arch bridge in Scotland. And yes, it was cast at Plas Caenllon in Wales, then transported by canal, sea and wagons to Craigellachie. And there's Thomas Telford there. And there is a sort of charity for the Craigellachie Bridge, and people can donate, and I'll actually link the website down below.